You don't lose control all at once. You lose it slowly, quietly, in ways you don't notice. One decision at a time. One time you stayed silent when you should have spoken. One time you walked away from something that mattered. One time you convinced yourself it didn't matter anyway. That's how it starts, not with chaos, but with comfort. Your mind learns what keeps you safe, and then it builds a cage out of it. At first it feels helpful. It reminds you of past pain, warns you before you try again, replays moments you failed so you don't fail again. You trust it. Why wouldn't you? It sounds like you, but over time, the warnings become rules. Don't say that. Don't try that. Don't become that. And slowly, your world gets smaller. You still wake up. Still move. Still smile when you're supposed to. But something is missing. Not happiness. Not success. Freedom. There was a version of you that moved without permission. A version that didn't calculate every outcome. That didn't rehearse conversations in your head. That didn't live 5 minutes ahead of fear. That version didn't die. It was locked away. Every time you chose safety over truth, it moved further back. Every time you ignored discomfort, it got quieter. Until one day, you couldn't hear it at all. That's when the mind takes over completely. Not violently, not obviously. Politely. It calls itself responsibility, maturity, reality. But listen closely. If your life feels heavy, if your decisions feel delayed, if your dreams feel distant, that's not life, that's control. The scariest prisons don't have walls. They have reasons. Reasons that sound logical. Reasons that sound adult. Reasons that sound like you. And here's the part no one tells you. The mind doesn't want you free. It wants you predictable. Predictable people are safe. Free people are unknown. So the mind rewrites your identity. You stop asking what you want. You start asking what makes sense. You stop listening to intuition. You start negotiating with fear. And slowly, you become someone you recognize, but don't feel. Most people live like this forever. They call it a phase. They call it stress. They call it life. They never realize they were trained. Conditioned. Taught to obey thoughts that were never questioned. But there is a moment, rare, dangerous, when awareness slips in, a moment where you notice that the voice controlling you learned its fear from the past. And in that moment, the spell weakens, because once you see the pattern, it can't pretend anymore. The mind hates being observed. That tight feeling in your chest, that resistance, that's not fear. That's the cage recognizing you've found the door. And here's the truth. Freedom doesn't arrive loudly. It arrives quietly. As a thought you almost ignore. As a feeling you're tempted to dismiss. As a question you're afraid to ask. Who would I be if I stopped obeying this voice? Not tomorrow. Not someday. Now. This is Psychological Playroom. We don't fight the mind, we expose it. And once you see it clearly, it can't control you the same way again. If this disturbed you, good. It means something is waking up.